Welcome back, everybody. I hope you're all fantastic. We're going to pull up from the Rack Odyssey and explore a piece of gear that I've featured a few times on the channel before, but never in this format, the Rocktron Intellifex. It was my first kind of serious rack effects processor, and it's the rack effects processor that I recommend to people when they want to get into old rack gear because it gives you some really sweet functionality, it doesn't destroy your core guitar tone, and it's still relatively inexpensive for what it does. It's not crazy deep like a Lexicon or an Eventide, but you can get in there and do some really, really fun stuff. At the same time, you know, if you're somebody who's only ever used pedals before, I feel like it's just a nice way to kind of expand that palette a little bit. So yeah, it sounds good. It's not super difficult to use, and it sits at a nice price point. And let's face it, it's awesome to have things like plex delays and gliding delays and massive concert hall reverbs. But if you just want a bunch of vanilla sounds for guitar, probably the reason you're getting into rack gear is like, hey, give me a panning delay and a multi-voice chorus and some pitch detune, and I'm gonna be happy. So let's explore those things on this unit, and hopefully I can show you sort of how to dial in some sounds on it as well as we go. This is my clean sound. And before I hit bypass on this thing, pretty straightforward. There are 3 knobs devoted to various functions right here. So if I use this far right one, I can scroll between, say, the type of function I want, the mixer, hush, delay, ducker, and I can get and edit the title and a bunch of other things on this. Then say if I'm on the delay, I can use this parameter knob to bring up the various parameters in a preset. And finally, once I'm there, I can use this knob right here to actually tweak the values. For example, the delay time. So I've got this panning delay in here. What have I got? Delay time one's 375 milliseconds, regen at -6. The second delay is 750 milliseconds with slightly less regeneration. Let's check it out. That's some nice stuff going on right there. What I like about this is if I go into the delay, let's see, you can actually control the high frequency damping here. So let's crank that up because I like warm sounding delays. Let's take that to about 80 or something like that. Check it out now. Let's hear that with some distortion all over it. Nice and big and fat and creamy right there, which is what I like. There's also built-in Rocktron Hush here as well. So this unit's kind of exceptionally quiet. If you saw my demo with the Yamaha SPX90, which admittedly came out, you know, in terms of rack gear terms, a lot earlier than this unit. The SPX90 is kind of special because it was the first single unit multi-effects unit marketed at guitar players, but you know, this is way quieter than that unit there. So that's a just kind of basic panning delay. You can get in there and tweak the high cut, which I think is really, really important. You can get up to, how much delay can we have here? That's a good question. Where's my 750? Can I take that more than 750? 750 is the max there, but I do have a couple of options here. I've got a stereo delay, a ping pong delay, and a 2-tap delay. Let's hear the ping pong, and I might just kind of tweak the delay times so they aren't so long. Let's take it in the 300-ish kind of range there, and a similar thing, we get this. That's pretty nice, that ping pong delay right there. So panning delays, ping pong delays, you got it. What we can do next is let's navigate to a different preset on here. This is probably my favorite aspect of this unit, the 8-voice chorus. What I'm going to do really quickly is if I go into the mixer, I can set the chorus level. Let's turn that down to about -6, and I can set my left and right direct level. So let's turn those all the way up. I think I was using this in kill dry mode before, but we're just going to use it like so. Let's have a listen to what this 8-voice chorus does. I'll turn it off and then on. That's ridiculous, right? What I like about it is that, and this confused me so much as a teenager when I got this unit. I was like, it's 8-voice chorus. Why are there delays in here? If only I could speak to myself back then and say, little Leon, a chorus is just a really short delay that you're modulating. So when you go in here and you say, hey, look at this, voice 1, I can set the level, I can set the pan, I can set the delay so it's nice and short, then I can set the depth and the rate of the modulation on 8 different voices. So that's how that one works there. And this is so lovely and lush on clean sounds. I'm a big advocate of like chorus plus pitch detune for that classic 80s thing, but the exception is the Intellifex 8-voice chorus. It's just so lush. That is right up there as one of my favorite choruses of all time. Of course, because there's 8 voices, if I wanted to use one of those voices for a delay, let's go to, say, voice 7. Let's just set the delay, you know, I don't know, 300 milliseconds-ish, if I can get that high with this particular delay mode. Yeah, let's do that. And voice 8, let's set that for 400 milliseconds or something like that. So I'll have a nice kind of quarter note dotted 8th note thing because I always want that. And let's just make sure we're panning them. This one's left 100, and this one is, let's do it the other way. So I've got my chorus, now I should have 2 nice delays on there. So there's this ragdoll song we did on an EP a few years ago called Self-Censored, and it was one of the first kind of clean sound songs we had done. And this is the sound I wanted on it. I didn't know that at the time. I kind of didn't realize that I should have just used my Intellifex, but this is the vibe. What you can do in the mixer section is set the amount of regeneration or feedback. So let's do that. I've probably got it on nothing. Let's add a bit of regeneration. I guess technically that will make the choruses flanges, but it will give me some more delay repeats. And that's one of the limitations with this unit. There's no tap tempo delays, which for me is actually a bit of a bummer because I love tap tempo delays. I think the Replifex has tap tempo delays. So no tap tempo delays, and then you've got stuff like this where the regeneration is being applied to all the voices and not individual ones. And I remember reading something about this years ago on a forum where someone was annoyed by this, and I was like, who cares? And now I am that person, which is, these things happen. It'll happen to you too. Stadium stuff from the 80s. How good's that? So that's the 8-voice chorus. And the last one I want to explore is good old pitch detune. So one thing you can do is if you want to find a preset that has the algorithm you want, you hit config. So that's 8-voice chorus and delay. Pitch shift delay, that's what I want. Let's recall this one. Should have just gone to the next preset. This one's called Detune. In Detune, look at what we have. We have voice 1 with delay, voice 2 with delay, voice 3 with delay. So this is like a 4-voice detune. Let's get in here. Now, pitch 1 is going to be the number of cents. So if I wanted to do octave up stuff, I would set it to 1200. I don't want to do that. I want to do pitch detune. So we use the fine tune parameter. Plus 11 is just fine. I can set the panning and the amount of delay. Let's make that like 2 milliseconds. And let's do a similar thing in this one, but let's offset that, say minus 13. And again, a little bit of delay, maybe 4 milliseconds. You can see you don't have this super fine control over the delay times either. It's like 2 millisecond chunks. Can you hear that crow outside as well? He's not happy about it only being 2 millisecond chunks. And then let's do this on voice / delay 3. Let's leave these. Actually, that's +8, and this one's probably -8. Okay, I've clearly programmed this one before. So this is a quad detune. I might go down to drop D. So I like that it's a quad detune because you're not just restricted to 2 voices. You can kind of offset them, use co-prime detune amounts, get into all that kind of nerdy stuff. But if we go to the delays, how much delay can I have on this particular voice? What's the limit? More than 100, that's good. More than 200, that's good. Maybe this is 400 as well. 418 milliseconds. Someone came up with that as the limit. I'm guessing it's like the limit of whatever kind of chip they're using in here, but sure, I'll use 418 milliseconds of delay, and then let's go to voice 4, and let's just do a slight offset there. Rather than 418, I'll do, I don't know, 350-ish or something like that. So we'll have a kind of nice detuned delay in there with my 2 detuned voices. Where's the regeneration on all of this? Let's see. Can I scroll any further across here? I can't. Delay 4, pan. That's what I want to do. I want to pan these voices. Probably done this the wrong way round. Fine. Where's the pan? Okay, let's hear this. That's kind of cool. I don't mind that. You can see there's no regeneration there at the moment. Can I add that in the mixer? Probably. There we go, regeneration. Again, it's going to apply to all of the voices though, so one of those weird little limitations. Alrighty, that's what's going on there. They're kind of my favorite features with this unit. I wouldn't use it for a whole lot more, but I do have some presets that I downloaded from the amazing Ryan, aka Analog Kid 85. So let's find some of those. I bumped those in using MIDI to USB cable and a SysX editor. SysX, however you meant to say that. So he's got some really fun stuff like these. This is great, this Alan Holdsworth style chorus and delay. You get this. So there's the worst Alan Holdsworth impression you will hear today. There's another preset I was really digging here. This one, the swell pad. This is so much fun with volume swells. So yeah, the Rocktron Intellifex, it can do a whole bunch more, but that's why I like it. That's why I'll probably never get rid of this unit. I know there's a kind of nostalgic reason in there as well, where it was my first kind of serious rack unit. I had a Digitech DSP 128 just before this, but I didn't know how that worked. The Intellifex, you could tweak things in there a lot easier. So that's why it's kind of special for me. But like I said at the start of the video, it really hits a sweet spot in terms of features and price. And snap one up if you're looking to get into rack gear. This is a great place to start. If you like it, then rack gear is probably for you. If you don't like it, then you haven't spent a whole bunch of money, and you can keep it around, and it's that one thing that you have anytime you want a couple of things like panning delays or pitch detune, and you don't have to go and buy a whole bunch of other stuff and go totally crazy like the rest of us. Just be warned, it's dangerous. If you do like it, you're going to want to try PCMs and Eventides and Yamahas and everything else out there, kind of like I'm in at the moment. So maybe that's the point. Maybe I can test all this stuff for you all so that you don't have to do it. But if you are looking to get into the rack game, Intellifex is a great place to start. And I really love this preset, so I'm just going to play you all out on this one. Thanks so much for watching the video. Let me know what you think of the Intellifex. If you use one, leave a comment and let me know what some of your favorite tips and tricks are. See you all next time.